back to 2017 for today's worst booking, and I think that's important to note because you could make the argument it took 8 years before we could get Bayley back to the point where she could be a proper babyface again. Now, I do agree with all the chat around Bayley. She does not get her flowers. She is criminally underrated, and if I was starting a wrestling promotion tomorrow, I would ring her up and say, oh, hi, would you like to come and wrestle for me? Now, actually, somebody else who has been fumbled here and there is also Alexa Bliss, who, of course, we haven't seen for a while. But yeah, way back when they were feuding, I don't know who was writing this thing, but it's basically gibberish. Now, Bayley had been doing all right on the main roster in 2016. I will always be that guy to say I don't really think the powers that be totally understood her character from NXT, because she was meant to be like a hero to kids, and then yeah, she got to Raw and SmackDown, and everyone went, oh, we'll just turn you into a child. It was really weird. When she did clash with Bliss, though, somebody else decided, well, we should do one of those This Is Your Life segments, because of course The Rock and Mankind had done this during the Attitude Era, and because it had done mega ratings, we have to do it every 5 years or so. But I tell you this, if you actually do go back and watch it now, it has funny elements. It also goes on for a long ass time when you could cut 7 minutes out of it. And this one was a little different because there was no nicey nice here, and Alexa had put this together because she wanted to humiliate Bayley. Therefore, old teachers, friends, and ex-boyfriends arrived to say, man, she sucked at sports, and man, she was rubbish in school, and also, she was too close to her father. Thinking about this one for a while, it's nice to have a good relationship with your family. Who are we trying to offend? WWE had to make this creepy as well because one of her old partners was there, and he was like, yeah, when we used to go on dates, you brought daddy, and one time I accidentally kissed him. I was like, bro, I'm sorry, you can't accidentally kiss someone. If you were attracted to Bayley's dad, you should just admit it and move on with your life. The end of all this tale as well was Bayley's ex-boyfriend and one of her ex-friends just making out in the middle of the ring, because that's right, they had been cheating on her this whole entire time. And maybe this was designed to make you feel sympathetic to Bayley. It was also such a train wreck of a segment, you just wanted to turn it off. It also was actually more proof of what we just talked about. Once again, WWE wanted to make Bayley cry because they thought she was like a 10-year-old. For goodness sake, she a grown-ass woman. This then continued because Alexa said, Bayley still plays with her childhood doll. And talk about irony now, because what was Alexa Bliss doing a few years after this? Playing with a damn doll called Lily. Also, it doesn't matter if you're 10, 20, 30, 40, or 97. If you have a nice, I don't know, sentimental relationship with some kind of puppet, then of course you should hang it around. The worst thing that people do when they become adults is forget their childhood roots. I don't know what we're talking about. This got so out of control, WWE even took shots at themselves, because we learned that Bayley, when she was younger, didn't like going out to parties because she wanted to stay home and watch Raw SmackDown. Yeah, what a geek, what a nerd. Why would you watch wrestling all the time? This is being said on the wrestling show. Oh man, it's hurting my brain. This too also went on for about 7 to 8 hours, and it is not a good watch. And look, both Alexa Bliss and Bayley have talked about this. They knew too. In fact, everybody knew, because when it was time to promote their match, did we see any clips of this? No, we did not. It was basically erased from history. I mean, it really did make Bales look like such a wet blanket, because even if you are 6, you know if somebody does push you too far, you're then allowed to whip their ass. Nobody would have watched and gone, oh man, I can't believe Bayley did that. We would have gone, yeah, this person has stepped way across the line and she needs some comeuppance. It really did take this idea of the lovable underdog and flush it down the toilet when finally Alexa Bliss went to Kurt Angle, who wasn't the GM at the time. It's like, listen, Kurt, I heard everything she said and I'm a little upset about this, so come the pay-per-view, I want to take on Alexa Bliss in a kendo stick on a pole match. I don't want to talk about on a pole matches here, because I start thinking about Vince Russo and WCW, but yes, this too was stupid, but at least she could whip her butt. And that is exactly what should have happened. Bayley did get this stick of kendo, and she should have just whacked Alexa Bliss for a while, but she didn't. She all of a sudden became a pacifist and basically said, no, I will not inflict violence in the middle of a wrestling match. So he wanted to call her up and say, Bayley, I think someone's told you the wrong thing. It then fell right through the floor too, because Alexa was like, all right, well, I'll do it. She totally destroyed Bayley and she beat her. So the whole time, especially if you were a Bayley fan, you were shouting at the television, fight back. Would you fight? You'll win if you fight back. And she didn't, and she lost. I mean, we honestly couldn't have buried Bayley anymore if we tried, and that is one of these occasions where you can use this word, especially because, once again, every single thing Alexa Bliss had done, well, it deserves some kind of punishment, and she got off scot-free. You also have to go back to the name of the show, because it was Extreme rules. You have to know what you're getting into here. Otherwise, don't turn up to work today. Once again, get on the damn phone and be like, I'm sick, I can't come in. And even though nobody would believe you, but at least you wouldn't have to go through this. I mean, it really did just portray Bayley as someone that didn't have a backbone, when before this, she would just fight from underneath to such a degree, you were desperate for her to win. So I guess I'm repeating myself now, but we took the main point of her babyface character and we threw it out the window, because why would we want to do anything good with something that is good? That's a bad sentence. Because at one stage, Bayley definitely knew how to get people behind her, but very closely after this, all of a sudden she lost that support, and you can see it if you go watch the TV. Do you know what audiences started to do? Boo. Boo Bayley. The same Bayley that in NXT people were saying, oh, well, this is the next John Cena, or John Cena for girls, which is always a little bit wishy-washy, but you know what they were saying. And instead, nope, down. It just goes to show what bad main roster booking can do. We totally destroyed everything that came before this. I mean, it's a masterclass in what not to do. Now, because Bayley is a genius, she totally felt this, and come 2019, she was probably stomping around backstage saying, listen, you know it, I knew it, I have to turn heel now, it's bad guy time. And in that sense, I suppose you could say that all of this was justified, because she did a 180 on everything. She looked different, she moved different, she wrestled different, she had a totally different presentation, to the point, I'm sure if you went to someone stupid and said, oh, this is Bayley's sister, they would have believed you. But it was also just so damn smart, because all of a sudden, the person you thought you never wanted to boo, well, she was so obnoxious, all you wanted to do was boo. I mean, there are a few people that have done such an amazing 180 with this success, and by the time she was the champion and she held that belt for ages, that's when everyone could see it. This Bayley, she know what the fluff she doing. So I kind of feel like a lot of people do take her for granted, as the title said. This really was bad booking, and to this day, I don't know who it was for. I mean, who was it meant to get over? Alexa Bliss, she didn't benefit either, because the whole time you could see internally, she was face-palming too. I feel sorry for both of them. Not that they need my sympathy, but it was shite. Don't forget as well that during the pandemic when WWE was really down on its luck, once again it was Bayley who climbed that damn ladder. And yes, she did that with Sasha Banks, of course, who's recently joined AEW, but that doesn't matter. It is such amazing turnaround. I'm going to end this video by just clapping. And that's really weird. Seriously, man, we do not give Bayley enough love. She is one of a kind. Now, of course, the most important thing to do is get in those comments and let me know a few things. One, what is your overall opinion of Bayley? And two, what did you think about this feud? Because if you were around in 2016, you definitely remember it. The Extreme Rules match when someone didn't want to go extreme. Why I'm laughing, otherwise I'll cry. Then please do click the video on the screen, which would be another bad booking, probably that one with Bobby Lashley and his sisters. Yes, that was depressing too. Like the video, share the video, and subscribe. And remember, it's just wrestling at the end of the day. And look, we just covered something that was probably objectively terrible, but we had a good time, we shared a few laughs, and as for Bayley, she's doing fine. It sounds like Alexa Bliss is enjoying her personal life. So it's thumbs up all around. But also, yeah, WWE, don't do this again. Just keep things simple. If you put a good guy and a bad guy in a kendo stick match, the good guy gets the kendo stick and he whoops the other person's ass. It really is that easy. Goodbye.